Yeah. Young Gerald. Yeah. Yeah. Die line with the boom pow. Every week now I switch to a new style. 212s in the back just blew out. Everything I do end up in the news now. Yeah. Lead a club with a few now. Just some Hollywood and they do. I'm in the mood now. 2 a.m. What you wanna do now? What you wanna do now? Little baby pass. Don't spill on me. That's Margella. Got this Oakland game to tell her. She look familiar. At Coachella, what's her name? Isabella, forget it, yeah. It's like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go. Tryna function, got some places we could go. Lockjaw got me speaking slow like, yeah, I'm blessed. I don't GA, you tryna, yes on yes. Say less. Say less. You ain't go. Say less. Yeah. Say less. Hey girl, what it do? If you got friends, cool, bring a few through. No fun if the homies man. R.I.P. Nate Dogg, this too true. And you know what I'm down for. Round 2, round 3, and a round 4. Mood switch when she knocked at the front door. Next up was the uproar. Yeah. Was like a week ago, but we both know how weekends go. Tryna tuck off, got some places we could go. Swear she got the like wow, she's blessed, I'm blessed. I don't GA. You tryna yes on yes. Say less. Say less. You ain't go. Say less.
Sheesh. What you saying? I don't understand. I'm out my mind. I popped.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Anticipation is mounting for today's game, and we've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's Ryan's Falcons going up against Wilson's Seahawks.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. We are pleased, as always, to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League presented by EA Sports. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. Thomas Rawls with his first carry, and he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 11 yards that time, and it produces a new set of downs. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing.
There goes Thomas Rawls. 30, past the 20. Touchdown, Seattle. Thomas Rawls, 66 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. And now it's blocked. It's picked up a wide ball through an opening, and there he goes. He's at the 40, the 20, and all the way into the end zone, and that's 2 points. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Second down following the run. Again, they'll run with Freeman. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain.
Back-to-back runs, I'd say that encompassed maximum effort for minimal gain.
Minimal yardage, and now they're going to need something more than minimal on this play coming up. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Gabriel, the man in motion. Now it's Ryan. And this is going to be incomplete.
Now that's a great opening series defensively. You force what should be a 3-and-out on your opening possession.
And great coverage there on third down to force the incompletion to set up fourth. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. Returnable for Lockett. A big hit. Knocked down sideways. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Before the offense changes hands here, let's look back at the Super Bowl February 5th. What a game. And I know you were there calling it offensively, though. Impressive on both sides.
It certainly was, and let's face it, if you're in Minnesota, it's cold outside, but you talk about the offenses, they heated up in a big way. And how about Nick Foles? The backup quarterback turned MVP, 373 yards, 3 touchdowns, and, of course, the big one receiving on the Philly special.
Quite a story. And as you and I were talking about off air, it was just a fluid game, not a lot of penalties, just really clean play.
Exactly the type of game the NFL needed for the audiences at home watching the game and, of course, people in attendance. A really well-played game.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be third down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
On third down, Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First.
And a fake here. Direct snap to the up man. 15 yards on the pickup there. And that'll be good for a Seattle first down. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move. But oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's used to having the ball in their hands, and he's able to pick up the first down.
And the wideout in motion. And avoids the contact by sliding. 5 yards that time, taking it himself, and he has enough for the first. And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. Wilson going to give to Rawls. And he's going to take it down to about the 35 here. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage.
Looking for Lockett, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
So the football switching hands here in just a second. And, you know, Tom Brady, just to go off on a tangent for a second, may have lost the Super Bowl, but third MVP this past season, and what he did at age 40, really something, right, Charles?
Absolutely phenomenal. Ended up beating out Todd Gurley, the running back for the Los Angeles Rams. But he would have traded it for a Super Bowl win, don't you think? How about this? The last 9 NFL MVPs to play in the Super Bowl that same season, 0-9.
Yeah.
You go all the way back to Kurt Warner in, what, 1999, where he won the double?
We were going over that stat earlier. That is hard to believe.
But he would have been the MVP had the Patriots pulled that one out.
Yeah, he still has 5 rings, though. 5 Super Bowl titles for Brady. On second down, Ryan hits his target. It's Taylor Gabriel. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Ryan finding Gabriel for the Falcon first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down, because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. In motion is Austin Hooper. Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8.
And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line. Sheldon Richardson breaking through to get him for a loss of 7. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Here's Ryan. And that is intercepted. Or was it? Wait, they'll say no. No interception. He did not keep the feet in bounds, apparently. So that's just going to be an incompletion. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. A little bit of a lower trajectory there on the deep kick, and it worked.
Had to do it because he had to drive it out low because of the length of the kick. Able to do that, got it above the defense and over the post.
Charles, earlier we talked a lot about Russell Wilson, what a great job he did last year in 2017 as Seattle's offense is working their way back onto the field. But they're probably going to need to find a running game to alleviate some of that pressure on Wilson, right?
Yeah, you think? I mean, my goodness, when you take a look at what Russell Wilson did, he more than doubled the rushing yardage of Mike Davis, who finished 2nd. And Mike Davis didn't begin the year on Seattle's roster. They went through a number of runners this season, none of them that fit and really hit. Chris Carson, they thought was going to be the guy who got hurt early in the year, but they definitely have to find a running game and get back to playing that Seattle football of run first and let Russell Wilson take over from there.
Alongside my broadcast partner, Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin hits the Seahawks with a football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. From the shotgun, Wilson, a strong running. He lets it fly, and this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. That goes for a gain of 31. first down. This is Rawls. And a loose football. Rawls loses it. And the Falcons grab it. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. CD, I want to get your thoughts on some potential free agents this offseason before we change the possession here. Now, caution, many of these guys could be resigned, I know, but who are some of them? Kirk Cousins is one.
Yeah, we're talking about difference makers. Kirk Cousins at the quarterback position. He's going to be coveted around the league by quarterback-needy teams. Case Keenum had a big year. Could he move?
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
Gabriel, the man in motion. To throw is Ryan. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. And before the possession switches here, I had written down that I wanted to talk about some of the awards this past season in the NFL. We know Brady was the MVP, but Todd Gurley, Offensive Player of the Year.
How about that for a bounce back? Many were questioning whether he'd had a sophomore slump the season before. Didn't even get to 1,000 yards. Was a dominant force in 2017. How about his teammate Aaron Donald on the defensive side? He took home Defensive Player of the Year award.
Yeah, very impressive. They had both sides of the ball. Sean McVay deserving, I think you would agree, of Coach of the Year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, what he did for the Rams when they went from last in the league in scoring to leading the league in scoring and winning a division title. And how about the New Orleans Saints? Rookie of the Year, offense and defense. Alvin Kamara on offense, Marshawn Lattimore on defense.
A Seahawk first down. Wilson to his big target, Graham. They'll try to run with Rawls. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
Again, it's Rawls. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness. Think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
On 3rd and goal, Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Tyler Lockett, a 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Seahawks add on to their lead. And he atones for his miss the first time around as this one is up and good to extend their lead. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. I want to give a hat tip real quick, Charles, to J.J. Watt before the possession switches here. Walter Payton, NFL Man of the Year. They totaled up how much he helped raise for hurricane relief, $37 million.
Incredible. Hurricane Harvey, which really hit the Houston area in a big way, and his original goal was $200,000. So congratulations to J.J. Watt and all the people who participated. And Greg Olsen of the Panthers, Benjamin Watson of the Ravens, both tight ends, also nominated and finalists for the most prestigious award as determined by the NFL, the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award.
In motion is Austin Hooper. Ryan going to give to Freeman on the draw. And he'll be tackled just past the 35 at the 36. It's a 6-yard run. Leaves him with about a foot or so here still to go to hit the marker with 3rd down coming up. Ryan forced out to his left. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
They run, Devontae Freeman. And he'll only get a yard, maybe 2, up to the 46.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. They'll run it now out of the gun. Finding room inside the 40. Touchdown, Falcons! Tevin Coleman, 54 yards. And now the Falcons are within a 2-point conversion of tying up the game. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
They'll try and run with Freeman. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. So the defense gets the stop. I know it's situation to situation, but who has more pressure there, offense or defense, when they go for 2?
I truly believe it's the defense has more pressure, because the offense has an entire playbook wide open from the 2-yard line. You can run it, you can throw it. So defensively, I think most teams are going to be aggressive and force the issue and try and bring pressure.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. Off the play fake to Rawls. Wilson. And he'll be out of bounds up past the 45. 23 yards on the play.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage.
And there's a nice stop for the defense. They've had a tough time containing this guy all game long, but maybe they can build a little bit off of that play, a little bit of confidence, a little bit of momentum. Yeah, every now and then you can actually tackle that guy.
Back-to-back 1-yard runs here, so that leaves him with a 3rd down and 8. From midfield now, here's Wilson. Toward the sideline. Did he keep the feet in? Yes, he got them both down, says the side judge, and that's good enough for a first down. First down, Seahawks. Wilson to Baldwin. They'll run it now out of the gun. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5, and it'll make this a 2nd and long. They stay on the ground. Rolls again. And he'll be knocked down sideways around the 37. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, it's Wilson. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Richardson. A gain of 13 and also a first down. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. and you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They set up the screen to Rawls. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
You know what the key to a good screen pass is, don't you?
Bet you're going to tell me. Good blocking?
Well, good blocking eventually. The first is good acting. You want to let the defenders go past you, leak out to whichever side or even in the middle where you want to set up the screen, and then you do your blocking. How about the read, though, by the defensive guys? They weren't fooled at all and actually ran with the lineman to where the play was and smothered it for a loss of yardage.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. And this seemingly endless drive continues. Block it in motion right. Again, Rawls. He's been busy tonight. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Thomas Rawls, as the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Oh, this is blocked. Defenders giving chase, but I don't think they're going to get there. The 30, 20, 10. And he will make it into the end zone. He's in for 2 points. And how about that for a turnaround prior to halftime? Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Falcons taking over on offense in just a second. And, you know, this year ended in disappointing fashion. Now, last year was the ultimate version of heartbreak. But if you're a Falcon fan, was this one was tough to swallow as well, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because let's be honest about it. Losing in the Super Bowl, I don't care how you lose, you were in the Super Bowl. You were playing for it all. This team was supposed to be as good or better. Ultimately ended up 10-6, found their way in the playoffs, but didn't get the deep run as they had the year before. So you're exactly right. For Falcons fans, that's a tough one. But this is a team that's built to be good for a long time.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And heavy contact. He is knocked down hard, right at the line of scrimmage. Okay, so Larry apparently giving us the silent treatment all of a sudden, and we're going to skip ahead to quarter number 3. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. Second down and just 1. In motion left goes Jones. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be third down. And the D looking like they may blitz. Gabriel, the man in motion. They run the play fake to Coleman. Now Ryan. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Cliff Averill with a big-time sack on third down. And it'll be a loss of 7. Here's Matt Bosher now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. 12 yards on the return that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
The Seahawks on third down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. They go again with Rawls. And he'll get this up to about the 38-yard line. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
They'll indeed go for it with Wilson. But he fires one that's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
Probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They're looking to turn things around here. They've been shut down in this third quarter. That was after a good first half offensively.
And you wonder where it all goes, and it feels like it goes away fast because it takes some time to build up good momentum, great play calling, excellent execution, and then in like a blink of an eye, you're losing the game. How do you get back there again? I'm sure they've talked about it, and they've got a plan. Now can they put it into practice?
The lead gone, now the search to find it again. On 2nd down, Wilson drops it underneath for Rawls. And he gets this up to the 34, out of bounds there. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
On 2nd down, Rawls. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
A fake to Rawls. Now it's Wilson. And he finds Jimmy Graham. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Wilson again to Rawls. And he only manages a couple here down to about the 38-yard line.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
In motion is the tight end, Graham. They give it to Rawls. And an alley to run. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Thomas Rawls, 38 yards. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. He's got the hat trick now of rushing touchdowns. Also has his team the advantage.
And I'm looking at it two ways here. If I'm on defense, I don't care what they do now. I commit as many people.
And he's going to be swallowed up and taken down. Sacked back at the 5-yard line. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
The wide receiver moving to a new spot. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
Gabriel, the man in motion. Here's Ryan. Eluding the pressure, and he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. Now it's Lockett. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Lockett in motion right. The drive begins with a run by Rawls. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
But no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it.
Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the 4th and final quarter. So 2nd down, 3 yards to go now. The play fake. Here's Wilson. They'll roll him out right. He's going to let... Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line. In motion is Austin Hooper. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Coleman. And he'll take this one across the 45 up to about the 46-yard line. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. The Falcons on third down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Gabriel, the man in motion. Ryan. Looking downfield for jump. It's caught inside the 25. And a big 32-yard play on third. And until that point, we haven't seen Julio Jones. That's hard to believe here this late in the game.
And no one more frustrated than Julio Jones because receivers feed off of catches. That's their fuel, and that's also their affirmation. And he hasn't been getting much of that in this game, and their team is losing, and he wants to have a better effect on the game.
Just the first connection, Ryan to Jones there. Gabriel, the man in motion. Ryan. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Freeman. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And never good on a pass completion there to go the wrong way. Lost yardage.
No, for some reason it seems to work better when you throw it downfield or you move the ball downfield running it that way, doesn't it? But in this case, if you're the defensive guy...
Oh, no, he lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Coleman now. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. Gabriel, the man in motion. They will run again with Coleman. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. And he motions the wide receiver. Now it's Ryan. Steps away to his left. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. Likely the play of the game here, trailing in the final quarter and going for it on 4th and goal. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is caught for a Falcon touchdown. Justin Hardy from 6 yards away. And the Falcons have taken the lead here in the 4th.
4th and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, okay, if I hold them for 3, at worst, I give up a field goal attempt. When they go for it, sometimes it really affects the defense because maybe they're not mentally prepared to go that 4th down.
They'll try and run it in with Coleman. And he'll get into the end zone. So now a field goal would only tie as they've upped their lead to 3. Here's Bosher to kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to lead to a third down. Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. Now a toss. This is Rawls. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
Most players will tell you that night games, while they can be fun, they're really hard to prepare for because you wake up on game day and all you want to do is get to the stadium and let's get going. But you got to bank that fire a little bit and hold it until the evening. It's almost like a Broadway premiere. You got to wait until the nighttime to go out there in front of the bright lights. And boy, has he harnessed himself really well, and now he's unleashing it on the opponents.
Back to throw. And left side here, it's Graham. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
They run with a power back. Rawls. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Now you're right on the edge of field goal range. You still got time, but get up to the line of scrimmage and get set.
And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Back to throw. Baldwin with it over the middle. And the play goes for 19 yards, gives them a new set of downs. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. Block it in motion right. Pitch goes to Rawls. And he's going to take this one down to about the 23-yard line. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And out of bounds all the way down at the 2-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. That's what they need right now. Get the first down, get out of bounds, stop the clock.
Just playing smart football, understanding the situation, making the plays necessary, and making sure that clock stops at every opportunity.
In motion left, the tight end. Now Rawls looking outside. And he's across the chalk into the end zone. Touchdown, Seahawks. Thomas Rawls with time running out. And the Seahawks have taken the lead here in the 4th. These have been no picnic for him so far. He's missed 2, but this one is good. Here's Walsh now to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. One possession game, time very much a factor. How does the offense handle this situation?
Well, in a lot of cases, they should be somewhat relaxed. And I know that's counterintuitive because this is a pressure situation. But this is Friday practice every week of the season. You go over this situation, having to go downfield, limited timeouts, got to get out of bounds and keep the drive going and set yourself up. Defensively, you can't just lay back and let them do whatever they want. So it is a cat and mouse deal here. How much pressure will the defense bring and how much pressure can the offense handle?
We're going to find out. And the wideout in motion. They'll run it now out of the gun. Room to run past midfield. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
He's back to throw. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Now they burn the timeout. And they're kind of in that gray area where they might be able to get 2 plays in, but maybe just 1 play left in this ball game. We'll see. Gabriel, the man in motion. He'll look to throw. He's going to let it fly. And this is incomplete, so no miracles here.